Before we even start with this, let's underline the word allegedly. No one knows for sure what goes on backstage at WWE events unless you were there, but these individuals sure do love chatting about it once their time with the company is done, and a lot of these situations do seem to revolve around Randy Orton, allegedly. But after fresh rumors surfaced recently against the Viper when ex-WWE star Amy Weber made a video, well, you know how the internet works. The former Diva Search contestant did tell a story, however, where she said Orton slammed into her chair on a plane like a linebacker, causing her to fall to the floor. This was all off the back of her taking some painkillers from the men's locker room, as a WWE trainer had instructed her to do. Weber went on to say she stood up to Randy and got in his face, but who even knows? I can't even believe such tales exist. Wrestling is so odd, and that's not even the half of it. As we have been here before though, and because Randy's list of apparent transgressions always seem to pop up, here's a concise list of all of these shenanigans. I'm Simon from WhatCulture. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and this is the 11 most controversial Randy Orton WWE behind the scenes stories. Number 11, the world's worst handshake. Please remember, I am just the messenger here. Take it however you want to take it. But a couple of years ago, MLW owner and former WWE writer Court Bauer told a story about Randy Orton that essentially focused on how the Viper enjoyed whipping his penis out, giving it a few strokes, and then asking a rookie to shake his hand. That's it, that's all I've got. I don't know what else to say, and I just want to move on as fast as I possibly can.
Number 10, Rash Photography. Just to underline one more time that I am merely serving as the messenger here, it's fair to say that on occasion it must be hard to be a WWE superstar. They're living their dreams, of course, but it's still a job at the end of the day, and it must be tough sometimes to bump into fans who want nothing more than an autograph and a picture. We all have bad days. So in 2007, when Randy Orton may have been feeling in such spirits and a fan asked for him to make his day, the third generation superstar refused. According to Sean Poth, who was a friend of the fan in question, when Randy did get asked for his picture, he instead grabbed the camera, took it upstairs, and hurled it onto the floor. The police were called, obviously, and Orton agreed to pay this member of the WWE Universe $100 and even sign him an autograph. It said, though, that Randy made it out to dip. Take that as you will. Number 9, Rookie Killer. Randy Orton has always had a lot of pull backstage. How or why we don't know, but today it's going to be higher than ever because of the star he's become. But even back in 2009, he was no pushover, allegedly, and this was underlined when he clashed with Mr. Kennedy. At the time, the man who said his last name twice was pegged for a main event spot, but this was tipped out the balance when he botched a suplex that saw Orton land on the back of his head. Heated words went down backstage, and then 4 days later, Kennedy was released, which is interesting, to say the least. This happened again a year later when Randy clashed with Kofi Kingston. Clearly mad that the future New Day member had botched a spot, Orton wanted to kick him with the punt, but Kofi didn't get into the right position. Randy just yelled "stupid" at him before giving him quite a rough RKO. Oddly, Kingston's push at the time fell by the wayside afterwards. Number 8, Needless Mocking. In 2009, WWE came up with an angle where Randy Orton would punt Vince McMahon in the head. Beating up the boss had been going on for well over a decade, so why stop now in the quest to get people over? The problem was, after the fact, the Viper revealed he suffered from intermittent explosive disorder, both vilifying and trivializing a legit mental health condition, which is not good on any level. Behind the scenes, it was allegedly just one big joke as well, given that Orton had attended anger management courses at the WWE's request because he'd been involved in a number of aggressive incidents. As we would soon find out, that didn't work. 12 months after this, Orton was sent home from a European tour after causing $50,000 worth of damage to his hotel room. Whether or not there was any fallout from this, we don't know, but it doesn't seem like there was much. Such is the way. Number 7, that tweet. Controversial and difficult to say the least, Randy Orton took to social media in 2016 to throw rage at a teacher who trod on the American flag in protest of police treatment of African Americans. History professor Lee Francis was suspended for his dissent, but the Viper didn't think it was enough when he tweeted this, which was followed by this. Why he felt the need to say anything is open for debate, but the point of what had happened seemed to have been lost on Orton, something that was heightened given this tweet arrived just hours after footage was released of African-American Terrence Crutcher being fatally shot by a police officer in Tulsa. Unsurprisingly, the backlash soon began with one reply noting that, "You just don't get it, Randy. That's like going to the doctor for a broken bone," and him saying, "Well, all bones matter." Number 6 is non-appearance in the Marine. Before entering the squared circle, Randy Orton decided to sign up for the US Marine Corps, maybe to have some discipline drilled into him. Didn't work. Dishonorably discharged after 2 bouts of going AWOL, Orton was ultimately court-martialed and sentenced to 38 days in a military prison. So, when Randy was selected by WWE Films to follow in the footsteps of John Cena and Ted DiBiase Jr. as the star of the Marine franchise, it immediately annoyed his former unit member Corporal Mike Vinn, who said, and I quote, "I am disgusted that his face and the word Marine are being used next to each other, real or fake, because of the fact that he quit us, the country, and the Marine Corps. It is a disgrace to those that have worn and are wearing that uniform." It struck a chord with management as Orton was yanked from the role and replaced by The Miz, who on paper you'd never even think would want to get a pamphlet about the Marines. Number 5, the Signature Pharmacy scandal. Just months after the Chris Benoit murder-suicide, 11 WWE superstars were implicated in a substance scandal. This got the attention of the Albany District Attorney's Office, and they went off to investigate the online drugstore known as Signature Pharmacy. It's only fair to say that at this point it was prior to the WWE introducing their wellness policy in the wake of Eddie Guerrero's death. Amongst the name was Benoit himself, as well as Ken Kennedy, causing widespread controversy, especially given that this was a period where WWE was trying to clean its company up. Every name to emerge was promptly suspended from WWE, with one notable exception, and his name was Randy Orton. Orton was exonerated by his bosses, who claimed he'd already served his suspension a year prior, but then at a US congressional investigation into WWE's business practices, one Brian Cohen raised the fact that Orton had received substances between 2004 and 2007. Allegedly. WWE evaded the question, eventually releasing a statement in 2010 that Orton hadn't appeared on any list from the DA. Okay. Number 4, breaking the rules. If we're looking at the wellness policy on paper, Randy Orton seems to be one of the lucky ones where the rules will bend depending on the circumstances. When the Viper was caught smoking pot in 2006, for example, WWE initially came down hard on Randy, suspending him despite it not being a wellness violation. Months later, Orton was again suspended as one of the many names listed in the Signature Pharmacy scandal we just talked about. However, when a third suspension arrived in 2012, it didn't see Orton's position in the company explode, but rather resulted in the rules being modified to guarantee he couldn't be fired except in exceptional circumstances. The policy was amended so that strikes would expire after 18 months had elapsed, meaning Orton in this case hadn't done anything wrong. Let's just hope that's the same for everybody else as well. Number 3, the unspoken pipe bomb promo. In 2011, CM Punk spoke some words into a microphone that we still chat about today. The same year, however, Randy Orton cut his own version of the pipe bomb, only he did it on radio station KUPD and opened up on everybody he could think of. If you pissed him off or were on the roster, he was going to say something about you, but the main focus of this rant was one Kelly Kelly. For some reason, Randy wanted to tell us that she had slept with at least 10 guys in the locker room, which upset a lot of people backstage. Orton was forced to apologise, including the line, "Please trash me if you want." I doubt he'd write that today given how nuts Twitter is, but all of this was uncalled for anyway, especially as it just seemed like a random comment said on a whim. I don't want to say it was mean, but well, it was mean. Number 2, being more mean. And talking of being mean, Randy Orton took another misstep in 2014 on Twitter when he captioned a photo of himself posing alongside an admirer with the words, "Look, I met the Latino Miss Piggy today at the gym." Damn. Unsurprisingly, this went viral very quickly as Orton claimed the fan in question had been harassing his girlfriend via direct message to the extent she'd been blocked. If that is true, and we don't know, you could understand why Randy would be so mad, but his actions were inexcusable, yeah, don't say that, and he was punished again, as well as being forced to say sorry once more. As it is Orton though, he merely said, "I apologise if any of my previous tweets offended anyone. The answer to bullying isn't more bullying." He ain't wrong. Number 1, a bag of Probably the most alleged infamous backstage tale of Randy Orton's bad behaviour is the only one that seems to be, ironically enough, mostly In short, Randy Orton apparently relieved himself in WWE diva Rochelle Lowen's luggage, and that's all you need to know, because who does that? Once this had come out, however, Rochelle actually revealed the truth while also throwing some shade at the Viper, because she said it was merely self-tanning lotion and baby oil, but I wouldn't put it past him to my bag. In other words, he didn't do it, but he absolutely would have done, or at least Rochelle thought so. She believed that Orton harboured a grudge against her and lashed out because of this. The story is almost certainly given more weight when we turn our attentions to Amy Weber, another of WWE's female employees whose handbag Orton allegedly soiled. Whether he actually went into business for himself we can't be sure, but the fact we're even having this chat, well, it ain't great. Allegedly.
Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and like the video, share the video, subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, then head over to WhatCulture.com, read yourself more articles, follow WhatCulture on Twitter, WhatCulture WWE, watch more videos here. We got a lot of them on WhatCulture Wrestling.